Jealous, envious people hate when you deny them access to you, when you cut them off, when you stop talking to them, when you stop seeking their approval and needing them around. Jealous people tend to get upset and find ways to distract you from your purpose. This is where gossip and rumors come in. When you suddenly shift your focus and get quiet, when you are aware of the people who are for you and the people who are not for you, that's when you start hearing little rumors about yourself. That's when you hear that you're the worst person in the world. And during that time, you have to be strong enough mentally to not let that distract you. When you decide that you no longer need to seek the approval of certain people, those people will begin to try and make your life miserable as possible. And they do this in a very passive-aggressive way. You see, when people are jealous and miserable, more times than not, they're not going to approach you directly. They're just going to have little conversations with people who are close to you and try to tarnish your reputation. You see, when somebody can't come at you directly, they try to do the next best thing, as in tarnish your reputation. They want to make you seem like a villain in every story they tell. And it's all because you decided to deny them access to you. See, when you discover your self-worth as a woman, as a person in general, people who are jealous and used to using manipulation tactics against you, they will be upset when you suddenly wake up and realize, hey, I don't need you around me. I'm not that hard up for friendship where I need to deal with your toxic behavior. And that sparks jealousy in many people. When you're not like pleading for them, when you don't feel like, okay, I want you to be around, you're constantly calling and texting and being around them. They don't like when you suddenly get unbothered, where you don't care if they're not around or not. The best part about somebody mistreating you, if there is a best part, is that it teaches you how to live without them.
Okay, so when you deny jealous people access to your life, that one can go in so many different directions, y'all. Because after watching that video, the first thing that popped in my head was how there are parents that can be jealous of their own kids, right? What also popped into my head is how when you're so used to being guided by your parent or being controlled by your parent, and then when you become of age where you want to start following your own thinking, and how you can really anger your parent because they don't want you to follow your own thinking. They want to still be able to control your thinking. And so in order to do that, they need you to fall in line with what they tell you to do. And if you don't, then they will become erratic, or they can become erratic, right? From that video, I don't know why parents being jealous of their kids popped in my head, but it did. And the next thing that followed was how there are some parents who live vicariously through their kids' lives, right? So say if your parent had kids at a young age and they felt like they weren't able to achieve certain goals in life that they wanted to achieve, and they feel that the reason they couldn't is because they started a family very young, right? Maybe they got married young, or maybe they just had kids young. And so, family was the focal point, and so they couldn't aspire to all the things that they dreamed of aspiring to, right? And sometimes they can take that anger out on their spouse, sometimes they can take it out on their kids, sometimes they can take it out on both. And many times if the parent has a kid, right, that has a lot of the character traits that the parent has, right? Say if the parent is an artist, say if the parent can sing or write or is some type of artist or whatever, right? And then they have a kid that falls into the same artistic expression, right? But the kid actually grows up or even starts out young as a kid, right, with their artistic expression, right? And then say their artistic expression actually gets them to different levels in life, right, where they become really successful and maybe even rich and famous, right? And the parent can feel some type of way, right? There are parents that can become jealous of their kids because they feel like, well, damn, you know, I always wanted to do what my kid is doing, but I never could because I got married young, or I had kids young, you know, I had to take care of my family. So they live vicariously through their kid, right? What just popped in my head was Kathy Bates. How the actress Kathy Bates said that her mother should have had her life. Her mother was very toxic towards her. So it seems from what she was expressing in an interview, and I actually did a video on it. You can find it on this page. And at the end, she didn't think that she thanked her mother during an award ceremony, which she in fact did, but she thought that she didn't. But then when she found out that she did, she was so grateful, like, oh my God, thank God I thanked my mother. And the interviewer was like, well, why didn't you think that you didn't thank your mother? Like, why were you so upset about it? She was like, because my mother should have had my life. No daughter or son should feel that their parent should have had their life. Kathy Bates became Kathy Bates, and I'm pretty sure she gave her mother the life. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she took care of her parents, probably gave them whatever they wanted, financially, because the thing is, kids want to take care of their parents. Kids want to make their parents happy. Kids want to be validated by their parents. Kids, you know what I mean? Like, if that's your guide and that's all you've been conditioned to is your parents growing up, you want to make them happy. You want to buy them homes. You want to buy them cars. You want them to retire early. You want them to kick their feet up and just relax, because that's how much you love your parents. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure Kathy Bates afforded her parents a wonderful lifestyle. But the fact that even that wasn't enough, right, brings you over to Tina Turner, legendary singer Tina Turner. In an interview, she said, my mother didn't like me. My mother hated me. And I felt that if I were to give my mother everything she ever wanted, homes, cars, furs, jewels, everything she could afford to give her, because she's a legendary Tina Turner, she thought that would make her mother happy. She thought she would be validated by her mother. It still wasn't enough. Her mother wanted to be her. Isn't that crazy? It didn't matter that she could have any and everything she ever wanted in this world. The one thing her mother could not have was Tina Turner's essence, Tina Turner's aura. She couldn't be Tina Turner. She couldn't be on stage dancing and singing, and she could not be Tina Turner. She wanted the world to look at her like Tina Turner, not Tina Turner's mother. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, and all that alludes to is that it doesn't matter, again, how much money a person has. It does not matter. It does not matter. That's how much money doesn't matter. Money, I understand, matters in regards to the things it can buy and, the life it can afford you. What I'm saying is, that's how much money doesn't matter, because even if you have everything, you can still be miserable, because you are miserable from inside. You're miserable from inside. So if you're miserable from inside, you're going to make the next person, you're going to make their life miserable. She made Tina Turner's life miserable. So it's no wonder how Tina ended up running into Ike and marrying him. She didn't know. She was naive. She was a people pleaser. She didn't know. She knew what she was experiencing. And I guess Ike's abuse wasn't really bad to her because of what she was already experiencing as a child. Until she learned later on in life, right? So Sometimes people will keep family and friends close to them, even if they are jealous of them, even if they are envious of them, because they feel like, well, that's my family. You know, there's something that is put into your head growing up. That's your blood. You don't go against blood. You never go against blood. You never, you know, that's your blood. But what if your blood hates you? What if your blood hates you because they are so jealous and envious of you? What if your blood wishes you were dead? What if your blood tries to set you up to unalive you? What if... Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? What if your blood wants you to be in an abusive relationship because that's how much they don't like you, or because that's how much they're jealous of you? So they would prefer you stay in a relationship where the man is kicking your ass, or where the man is emotionally and verbally abusing you. That makes the parent happy because they are already jealous and envious of you. So they want to dim your light as much as they can. They want to break you down, baby, break you down like a pound, because that's how envious they are of you. Okay? This is what that video made me think of. Toxic parents, jealous parents, parents that want to live vicariously through their kids, and even living through their kids isn't enough. It's not enough because they can't physically be their kid. They can't physically stand in their kid's shoes. They can't, because they are individually who they are. I wish this world healing, y'all. I really, really do. I pray for my enemies. I do. Because there are people that pray for their enemies to be unalived, right? Because that's how much hatred they hold within their heart. I pray for my enemies to heal. Because if my enemies can heal, that means that they can teach somebody else to heal, or they can help somebody else to heal, and it becomes a ripple effect. You know, I understand some people probably just need to go ahead and go on to glory, because that's the only way they're going to find peace in this lifetime. I get that too. But I do. I pray for my enemies, and I wish them peace. I wish them healing. Because jealousy and envy is a disease. And it's sad what people that are close to you can do to you because of it.